Okay.
I'm bringing my stuff to work.
All right, we are live. What I see happening. All right, we are live. Just want to get into what I see happening today in the markets. Already, I got a feature chart up here. Now, the Dow bounced up 1,200 points, and I didn't think it was going to hold its gains. That's my prediction. And you on Instagram, I think my short in the S&P. What I see happening. All right, we are live. Sorry. I think my short in the S&P is going to prevail over this, even if it waits till Monday or Tuesday in the afternoon. I will hold this over the weekend. Weekends tend to create low liquidity, and then we could see what happens. Also, there could be way more worse news during the weekend. I'm betting worse news than good news, so sad to say. But now let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a huge crash last night, went all the way down, look, to 3,776, right? I mean, that was you probably could never get Bitcoin in the 3,000s ever again. It's already back up $2,000. So had you bought Bitcoin last night during the crash and you just remained calm and you weren't freaking out, which I got a little, that was the first time I was a little phased, I'll be honest. You'd be up 59% right now. Can you believe that? We'll believe it. So last night, Bitcoin drops. You gobble it up at that low price, and boom, it goes up 61% overnight, right? Better than the stock market. The stock market didn't go up 61% overnight, not even close, right? The stock market is up 3% overnight. You tell me who's the wiser, and you can see how many people had limit orders waiting to buy Bitcoin just in case. There was a lot of money sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy a lot of Bitcoin. I still have a lot of faith in Bitcoin, and people would ask me why. Like, are you just insane? It would look that way to most people. It really would, because you're not in the asset, you don't study it every day, and you don't know all the ins and outs and the interest. I'm messing up the word, but I think you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I have like a word issue for whatever reason, even though I'm very loquacious, and I have a very verbose. I'm very verbose. Okay, so the intricacies of Bitcoin. But anyway, up 61% today. What other coins made a big dead cat bounce? Let's see what's going on. So down though on the short, but let me show you what happens a lot. It's a retest. So we went up, we came back, and we retested this trend line in SPXU. So we were even lower earlier. We already made a bounce back. To me, that tells me that the bottom for SPXU is in this range here. So we have a new support range, right? It was resistance, came up, now it became support. That's a support and resistance flip. We do have a turn on the MACD turning, so we should have maybe a little more downside, hopefully back to the trend line. And the RSI got reset, which is good. On the daily, we also got reset in the RSI. You're good to take profits anytime you're above this dotted line. It's a good place to take profits. I had my exact target. It hit my exact target, which is uncanny. Look, I don't know if you were watching my channel yesterday. I drew this yellow line. I said we should come up, break through, and then I drew this white line before this price target hit it. I drew this white line before, but you know what? All the other traders drew the white line, and they programmed an algorithm on it, and that's why it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's why you really want to trade with institutional traders. And to do that, you need to learn trend lines and patterns, and you need to study trading. Otherwise, you really won't know why someone's taking profit at what place, right? These are key moves. And to me, it's like obvious as a trader, because you can be like, oh yeah, like this is the 200-day moving average. Stocks like to bounce off of it, right? Look, we came down, we bounced off of it. So you could have just played the 200-day moving average to the new support up 50%. Like that's kind of the move that was made. Very high here. We should get a little more of a bounce, and then it may be time to get out of this just until it retraces, and then it's going to go up again. It's going to go up again. Next week, it's going to have, I think, some huge gains. Now, the Dow losing already half its gains. People are buying it, man. We are oversold, though, on the Dow, so it's like this is where you do want to buy, but look how oversold we were here. We were the most oversold I've ever seen, and then we only came up a little bit to dump even more and not even get that low yet. And gold coming back, up very small amounts, but not tanking. Looks like it bottomed here. I drew this line thinking, because this is a double top, so I took this target, and then you go to the end here, and I thought gold could go all the way back to 1517. I think the lowest it went was 1550. Although I would have sworn I saw it lower yesterday as well. But 1550 kind of was the old bottom. See, we hit it here, we hit it here, we kind of hit it here. So this is very strong support for gold at 1550. So I think this would be a good time to buy some gold bars, you know, add to your gold stash. Yeah, don't panic, man. Too many people are panicking because they don't know much. So they're just panicking. Panicking isn't really going to get you any gains, and it's not going to help you out in any way, shape, or form. So you can't be panicking, all right? Not at all. You got to just keep looking at the charts, remain calm, right? All right. Bitcoin sitting at 57.16, up $900, up 20%. It's up more than that, though, if they really took the where it bottomed last night. I still can't believe that you could have bought Bitcoin last night all the way at 3,700. That's insane to me. Absolutely insane. Wow. Bitcoin went to 3,008 last night. Interesting. Let's see what people are saying about Bitcoin. Multiple crypto exchanges around the world struggle to deal with the unexpected crash that has seen Bitcoin crash to as low as 4,000 before rebounding, right? Bitcoin miner finds forgotten fortune worth millions. This is some good fun, right? Bitcoin miner finds forgotten fortune worth millions. Someone who mined Bitcoin back in 2010 has found his stash, and it was worth $8 million. But did he sell in time? A Bitcoin miner has stumbled on an old Bitcoin wallet. The wallet contained 1,000 Bitcoins and any Bitcoin forks too. The miner may have sold it just before the market crashed. A miner has discovered an old Bitcoin wallet containing a small fortune worth $8 million. According to the post from Bitcoin Blink, a self-proclaimed Bitcoin newbie mined some Bitcoin using a personal computer back when it was possible to do so, before massive mining rigs took over. It appears they stumbled across the coin only recently and took to Bitcoin Talk to find out what to do with the massive cash. 2010 wallet moving coins. I mined some Bitcoin for a little bit a long time ago, back when it was still possible to mine GPU. You know, that's how you used to be able to mine it with your computer, but now you need to go against ASIC miners and big boys, and it's just almost impossible. I haven't been active here for a long time. They wrote on March 10th, adding, how do I move Bitcoin to sell? Several members of Bitcoin Talk gave him some guidance. While the miner didn't specify, later that day a transaction was made moving 1,000 Bitcoin worth 7.94 at the time. These coins were originally mined on August 24, 2010, suggesting they belong on this poster. It's rare to see coins that have been stagnant for so long suddenly move. But the stash was likely even bigger. Since the Bitcoin blockchain has forked a number of times since 2010, the wallet also contained 1,000 Bitcoin Cash, 1,000 Bitcoin SV, and so on. Just these two coins, when combined, add an extra 475,000. Thank you for all the suggestions. It was overall a great return and the best welcome one can get, he posted. The miner had pretty good timing. If they did sell the coins on the day, they would have made around $8 million. But if they had waited till earlier today, it would have been worth just half. Bitcoin rebounds 36%. After the price was, we saw it rebound even more than that. After the price was chopped in half over the past 2 days, Bitcoin's price has a significant revival, but there could be more volatility ahead. The price of Bitcoin has fallen out of the sky. After yesterday's eye-watering 20% drop, Bitcoin fell further to reach a low of 4,100. I see it at 3,776. I mean, but that is, what is the US? I'm looking at the Tether pair, so let me look at the XBT contract. It's kind of the best way to see it. US dollar index on BitMEX. Yeah, we went to 3,892 on BitMEX. Price changes depending, but most oversold I've seen Bitcoin in a long, long time, ever since we bottomed here at 3.7. So, I mean, that's an indication it's time to buy. Also, I like to use this as the alternative the crypto fear and greed index. Bookmark this right now, add it to my crypto folder. And this should be, yeah, this is when you really want to be buying Bitcoin in extreme fear. In extreme fear. Definitely a time to accumulate Bitcoin. This is the best time, honestly. If you believe in it, if you like Bitcoin, today is the day to buy some Bitcoin. It's there's really no other way to look at it, right? So, honestly, boom, and then it's going to come back up to greed, and then you want to sell into the greed. It's just kind of how it works. It's just how it works. Let me just bookmark this into my crypto wallet. Boom, my crypto bookmark area there. So Bitcoin, can we get back above 6,000? 6,000 doesn't scare me too bad. The 3,000, 4,000 last night, that was insane, right? Look at this one candle. It's a daily candle, and it's going to hold extreme price volatility. This is insane, right? The Dow now completely giving up those gains. SPXU will just flip. You'll see XPSU flip as the Dow. This will just keep going up as the Dow keeps going down. That's what I'm predicting is happening today. I don't think the Dow is going to hold these false gains. People are going to be able to see through Trump's stimulus and everything else. Also, if you see more people like Biden, the Dow is becoming political in a way. What's up, my friend? XRP Muser. Good rising. Yeah, I've been doing a whole research on language. Someone sat me down for like 2 hours, and a guy who, had done a lot of research on cryptic wording and languages. And he was saying a lot of words we use, like the word diet has the word die in it. Hello has the word hell in it. So you see someone walking by and you say hello. Why don't you say heaveno? I don't, I like namaste or peace. What's up? Peace with you, That's why salam alaikum is, peace be with you. That's what salam alaikum means, peace be with you. So I like the if you go into the Muslim language and you go into the beauty of Islam, and I'm not, I'm just, if you research it, right? Your brother got in at 11, right? 11 cents for the XRP, man. See? It's crazy, right? Finally was like, hey, buy the bottoms, man. You know what? You can make money on XRP just today alone. I mean, Bitcoin went up. If you see, you looking at Bitcoin, but Bitcoin went to 3.7. Had you had the bejesus to buy the bottom, which, I mean, anything if it was low on the RSI and you see a wick, you buy this wick. Could have bought it with leverage. Boom. Like 10x leverage on that. That was a fat trade. It went up 60%. You could have made 600% last night. It's just crazy. If you have your head on straight and you're really looking at things properly, you don't panic. There's opportunities in every single market. You just have to see them, right? Look at XRP, up 18% already. And let's see, I bet it's up even more than that. So let me show you why I said we were going down. This is what's called a complex head and shoulders. A shoulder, a shoulder, a shoulder, a shoulder, and a head. When you have a complex head and shoulders, you take the line here, you bring it to from the neck, the head to like the neckline. See where they both kind of begin? And then you bring this to the bottom, to that, and you put it right here. You put it to the shoulder. It's like we hit it on top. Like I see these patterns play out almost exactly. We did wick back down to 10.9 cents. Insanity. Had you bought this dip here, you'd be up 90% right now. That's a little funky, right? Oh no, wait, no, we're sorry. You'd be up 47% though. I mean, not too bad, right? So if you put 5K right here, you would have made $2,000 instantly. I got in at 16 thinking I was a genius. It's going to rise temporarily. Yeah, man, I feel you about that, I mean, I think that was the bottom. I don't think we'll hit 3.8 ever again, but you know what? No one is a soothsayer, and with what's going on lately, it's insane. I don't know if anyone noticed, but U.S. fired missiles last night at an Iranian base, or a Shiite base, right? So I just not going to spend a lot of time on that, but you Google it here. Let's see if it comes up. Honestly, DuckDuckGo's got to step up its game because Google's killing it. It's supposed to not follow you and all that, but you just can't seem to get the same articles. But U.S. did fire missiles. U.S. launched a strike in Iraq against Iranian-backed militias after attack that killed. Oh yeah, now they're gonna make me pay for it. Rocket attack kills 3 U.S. coalition members in Iraq. Iraq attack, rudimentary insurgent tactic allows little defense. So U.S. officials signal they may respond. We did respond. So Iran fires missiles at U.S. forces in Iraq. Revenge for Soleimani, right? That was before. This was last night. Again, they're not letting me read the only article that I could find. Let's see if there's better news somewhere else. But you guys can Google this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I think it could have an impact, right? As long as they keep pumping money temporarily, it's going to rise temporarily. Who knows, man? It's kind of scary because the perfect time for an attack on us is now when we are most vulnerable. No, for sure, man. For sure. It's a weird time. It's a very strange time. But we do have 800 bases throughout the world, right? We do have the best doctors in the world, in my opinion. Despite, and that's what's upsetting about. That's what's upsetting about the United States launch airstrikes against the Iranian-backed militia early Friday, responding to a rocket attack on a military base that killed one British and 2 U.S. service members in a new round of escalating tensions. The Pentagon said in a statement that the U.S. forces hit facilities across Iraq linked to Kataib Hezbollah, including storage facilities that house weapons used in attacks on American and coalition troops. I mean, we have more satellites than them. We have more intel than them. So even if we had way less troops, we have the technology to destroy, I think, anyone in the world, which I don't want to do that, but I still have faith in the United States Army. I really do. But hey, I'm a full-blown American, born in Boston, Paul Revere type, you know. It's impossible for the companies to stay in the green if they don't make profits. Showing investors they're the positive till the virus clears. A vaccine is made only for the S strain. Oh, that's interesting that you said that. Yeah, there's an L and S strain, and you're telling me that we only have a vaccine for one strain. The difference in strains makes it really hard to make a vaccine. All right? So that's something you have to all coins follow in Bitcoin bloodbath. Dow up 40%. Down up to 40%. Yeah. Every single coin took a dump last night. You had to buy the dip heavily. I mean, now everything, VET is up 28%. And I was thinking, you know what, I should buy VET last night. But honestly, I didn't see the entire dump. You know, at one point I just didn't want to watch it anymore. Oh, some of my favorite coins fell all the way out of their patterns. But let's see now if they retrace to proper places on a Fibonacci. I love playing Atom. Atom coin was something I would just go in and out of a lot. And I got to know the coin. I really did get to know the coin. Huh. I need to learn backwards fibs, but yeah, so this just, if that's the top of the fib, this just fell completely out of the Fibonacci. Yeah, the Dow, I think, is going to continue to tank. I think the Dow will eventually give up every gain that they gave it. I don't know who the hell, because you could tell it wasn't, if it's not us buying and the feds are buying, then they're going to buy everything and prop it up. And then what's going to happen? Everyone's going to sell that. They're going to take those gains. So it's almost like giving people temporary gains. I do see how we're so low, though, on the instruments. I'm trying to trust the technical analysis here. This would tell me, if I was blind, this would tell me to buy this asset. But honestly, let's look at it doesn't always work that way, because I like to take Groupon as an example. Groupon just has been oversold now for a long time, and it's not coming back. So you'd be like, oh, I bought here. No, I'm going to buy here. No, I'm going to buy here. No, I'm going to buy here. And you would just keep losing, trying to follow a catch. I have almost never seen a swoop like this. Groupon has, I think maybe they're going to go under. I think they may disappear. Yeah, the Fed did pump it up, you know. Fed did pump it up. Now, gold is still struggling, which is interesting to me. We had a double top on gold. If I took the neckline here and I brought it back here, it says that gold should be going back down to 1480, 1476 area. I think in this time of volatility, the lowest we bounce off 1543. And like I was showing you on the 4 hour, maybe it looks more. This is support. We broke through. Now it's going to be resistance. This 1585 is now new resistance. So we need to break through that to get back up. But you see, you just keep playing these W's and the M's. When you see an M, get ready for a loss. When you see a W, get ready for a gain. That's kind of and that's what's called a double top or a double bottom. I got to make it quick today because I started a little early. What do I see happening for Bitcoin? All right. Let me look at my big Bitcoin chart here. So Bitcoin is still technically in this giant triangle on the daily, right? That I drew this. And the sad thing was, when I did draw this, and one day I was on my channel, and this is a bilateral triangle, so it could go up or down either way. and you take the base of the triangle, and that's how you show where it's going to go. Let me put this in big so I can just have just this. No, just this. Yeah, here we go. You can take any instrument and make it the only thing you see. So I took this same position and I brought it here, and I said, wow, that means Bitcoin can go to $1,200. Right? I said it on my channel, but I was like, but I don't think that could happen. I really don't, you know. But I mean, that's what the chart says, because it's bilateral. A bilateral triangle will break up or down either way. But we're still technically at the bottom of this trend line. You know, I could extend this a little bit like so. We could shape up our triangle a little bit. As Peter Brandt says, no pattern is there until it's over. So you have to be ready and willing to change your patterning. I don't pattern wicks. Wicks kind of go through. So this is great. What I see happening now for Bitcoin is very simple. We're going to bounce off this trend line and make gains of 73% back to 9,000. Then we could come back down all the way to 5,500 again, then come up to 7,000, and then we're off to the races. So I think this is what I see happening for Bitcoin. Extremely volatile, but be ready for it. Remember that I said it. So Bitcoin's going to come back up off this trend line. We're going to reach 9,000, right? We're going to reach 9,000. It's annoying when instruments don't. Yeah, I'm trying to draw. Why won't it let me draw, man? All right, 9,000. Then we're going to come back down to 5,600 in like a month or two, which is really sad. And then we're going to come back to 7, come back up, come back down to 7, come back up, come back down, and we're out. So it's going to take some time. I'd say maybe July or August, and prepare to see 9,000 and 5,000 yet again. That's kind of what I see happening for Bitcoin. Okay, in all logics, like this is just something that I see occurring. Right now, I just lost my. There we go. Okay. So that's what I see happening for Bitcoin. This OPK just keeps making money here. Optco Health up 42% today. Definitely want to start looking at these health stocks, these people who are involved in the making of any of these vaccines, right? It's had some huge volatility. It's up, down, up, down. But today now up 43%. So it's something I've been watching a lot. Amazon made a big bounce back today, up 3%. The Dow now still holding 680, 655. All right. 1,000 gain, then a slump again, but this time it might be longer. The Feds have more money to pump in the markets to hold the gains longer. Buy at 5,000. Yeah, I think 5,000 will be the new bottom. I think we may hit it again a few more times. The pain is here, man. There's pain everywhere, right? So the Dow now only holding half its gains for the day. And I think they will continue to drop, especially with news of war now, right? Just try to look at history to see what's going on. My dad, I remember, opened his first stock account ever on the Monday, the day after Black Monday on a Tuesday. Dow and S&P 500 tried to stage Friday rebound after biggest one-day rout since 1987 crash. U.S. stock markets attempted to rebound Friday, rising sharply after the Dow and the S&P suffered their biggest one-day plunge since October 1987. Signs of progress toward the U.S. fiscal stimulus package to cushion the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic were created with support, but analysts cautioned conditions were likely to remain volatile in the wake of these weeks' global market carnage. What's driving the markets? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said President Donald Trump are near an agreement on an aid package to help address the health emergency that is created by the infectious disease. Why don't they just get an aid package and figure it out? Like, stop playing games. Get politics out of it. Realize the American people need some. But honestly, the stimulus isn't good, man. If you've listened to any of my videos, and I tell you to follow Mike Maloney, you got to watch The Hidden Secrets of Money by Mike Maloney. And he has a really good, you'll learn a lot from him, and he can like basically break it down.
For Thursday, March 12th, 2020, and the coronavirus deflation contagion continues. There was a market sell-off today. It's a bloodbath. This screenshot here, the Dow is down 9%. And right when the market opened, there was a gap down that caused the market circuit breakers to blow. Now, these aren't electrical circuit breakers. What this is programming. If the market drops by 7%, trading is halted for 15 minutes. That's when the circuit breakers blow. Trading is halted for 15 minutes. Hopefully people calm down. Trading continues. If it drops more to a total of minus 13%, the breakers blow again, and there's a 15-minute pause, and then trading continues. If it falls all the way to minus 20%, they stop trading for the rest of the day. That's it. So that's how the circuit breakers work. And what happened is the circuit breakers were triggered for the second time this week. And it happened on a gap down. Basically, a gap down is when you've got a trading range from the previous day, and then the next day they normally opens up somewhere within that trading range, and it sets a new trading range, and they step down or step up, whichever direction the market is going. But sometimes there's this big gap in the chart. It gaps down and opens up way down here and sets a brand new trading range. Well, that gap down caused the markets to blow the circuit breakers right at the beginning of the day. And we're really in some historic times right now. Stuff is just happening so fast. So the markets were down more than 2,000 points at this point, and this was pledges of security to the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve creates a bunch of currency and gives it to them in exchange for that asset. But in the contract, the seller of the asset has to repurchase it the next day when that currency that the Federal Reserve created comes back into the black hole that is the Federal Reserve's checkbook, their checking account. It vanishes.
Zero balance. They have a zero balance.
So they create currency one day, they destroy it the next. However, if you take a look at this, and per day, and adding a new 1 month term repo facility. So whatever currency they create on those 1 months stays out there for an entire month. And most of these get rolled over when they expire. The New York Fed just stunned the markets and fired its biggest bazooka since the Lehman Brothers crisis. Not coincidentally, just moments before today's 30-year Treasury auction. Because if the Treasury auction fails, if they have a Treasury auction and they're unable to auction all of the 30-year Treasuries that they're offering, it would mean game over. By announcing a total of $1 trillion in 3-month repos. So this is $1 trillion that they're going to create that stays out there for 3 months. $500 billion today, $500 billion tomorrow, as well as an additional $500 billion in 1 month repos offered weekly, which means up to $3 trillion cumulative repos, if fully allotted, may be online by the end of this month. And then it says, but wait, there's more. Sounds like a steak knife commercial to me. Because the Fed also finally threw in the towel on the semantics between what it was calling QE and not QE, when it announced it would start purchasing treasuries as part of permanent open market operations. Repurchase agreements are temporary open market operations. Permanent open market operations, the entity that's doing the sale of the asset to the Federal Reserve doesn't make a contract or a pledge to say, yes, we will buy this back on a certain date and give you the cash back that you just created. So this is permanent open market operations, which means QE is on again there. But I'll have some more comments on QE soon, because most people do not understand QE. But for some context on how these temporary open market operations, the repurchase agreements, compares to what they've been doing, assuming the full allotment is taken up, the two $500 billion repos, this is what it's going to look like. This is what they were doing, and then this is what they will do in just a 2-day period. Add that $1 trillion to the currency supply. But the bazooka, this is the same article, and it goes on to talk about the trading desk of new monthly scheduled treasury operations, and that from March 13th, so tomorrow, until April 13th, the desk will conduct purchases across a broad range of maturities. Today, March 12th, the desk will offer $500 billion in 3-month repurchase agreements. So that's $500 billion that stays out there for 3 months. Tomorrow, the desk will offer a further $500 billion in 3-month repos. So there's $1 trillion that they've added to the currency supply that will stay out there for 3 months. And then 3 and 1 month operations for $500 billion will be offered on a weekly basis for the remainder of the monthly schedule. So when you add this together,
this is kind of like someone's bleeding at the hospital, right? And they're bleeding out and they're bleeding out. And instead of stitching them, you just keep adding a blood bag next to them. So they just keep bleeding and you just keep putting another blood bag and another blood bag. But the blood is coming from nowhere. It's coming from like some fake fairy blood who's just dropping the blood in. So it's like we're going to keep leaking the same cash that they keep pumping in.
So, and that's in it.
And remember, every time they pump this money in, we owe that money. We owe that money. $1 is $1.25 or something. Like there's interest on that dollar. So when they pump all this money, they're basically making my daughter and my grandkids, they're taxing them. They're taxing future generations to pay for these repos.
This is in addition to their $175 billion in overnight repos and so on. I can't remember all of the components that go into this index, but it's
showing the same fear and greed index I was showing earlier. See, I was showing you the crypto fear and greed index, right? They also have one for the stock market, and that's even worse. It's on a
measure
1
of how greedy investors are and how fearful they are. And right now, it has never been down at this extreme. Today would seem an appropriate time for the Fed to cut funds rate to 0. What could be holding Powell back? How is caution warranted now? Welcome, the 708, almost 50%, 56.8%, 57%, and this is almost 20%. In each one of these instances, gold made significant gains, 25 one time and 53% another time during these market panics. So there's gold and silver are taking this dip. It's like the gift from God, last opportunity, and then they will most likely, just like almost all other times in history, turn around and just surprise the hell out of everyone. So some viewer feedback one day to clarify what I mean.
Anyway, he's really where you want to go if you want to understand what's happening with the Fed repo markets, if you want to understand what it means to print money, what happens when we print money. All right, guys, it's a quick show today. We went over everything that I could really fast. Let's just check on the Dow now, still holding some gains. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And if all goes well and everything is right, I should be on tonight at 10 p.m. going over what? The coronavirus, COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2. Trump is desperately trying to save face. He's playing the markets also. He is telling the feds to pump all this money. Of course he is. Of course he is. That is what we all know.